In a small town on Earth, where the sky was often painted with vibrant sunsets, lived a girl named Mia. Mia had always been close to her best friend Jake. They had grown up together, sharing secrets, laughter, and dreams. But everything changed when Jake's family moved across the country for his dad's job. The day he left was etched in Mia's memory, a painful moment that felt like the world had shifted beneath her feet. The weeks following Jake's departure were hard for Mia. She would sit on the swing in her backyard, feeling the weight of his absence. The swing creaked softly, a reminder of the countless times they had played together. Mia missed their silly games and deep conversations. The laughter they shared echoed in her mind, but it was now a distant sound, like a fading melody. Mia often picked up her phone, staring at Jake's name in her contacts. She wanted to reach out, to tell him how much she missed him, but a wave of uncertainty washed over her. What if he didn't feel the same way? What if he had moved on and made new friends? The thought made her heart ache. She felt small and lost, like a lone star in a vast universe. One warm afternoon, Mia decided to write Jake a letter. She grabbed her favorite blue notebook and a pen, hoping to pour her feelings onto the pages. She wrote about her days, her thoughts, and how much she missed their friendship. She described the sunset they had watched together, the way it had painted the sky in shades of orange and pink. It felt good to express her feelings, but as she sealed the envelope, doubt crept in. What if he didn't care anymore? Days turned into weeks, and Maya kept the letter tucked away, hidden in her drawer. She felt a sense of longing every time she thought about it. She wanted to be brave, to reach out, but fear held her back. She felt distant from Jake, as though an invisible wall had been built between them. Each day, the wall seemed to grow taller, and her heart felt heavier. One evening, sitting on her porch, Mia gazed up at the stars. They twinkled brightly against the dark sky, each one a reminder of the connection she once had with Jake. Remembered how they used to lie on the grass, counting stars and dreaming about the future. Those moments felt like a lifetime ago, and the distance between them felt insurmountable. But deep down, Mia knew she had to try. She thought about the stories they had shared, the fears they had faced together, and the dreams they had woven. They had promised to always be there for each other, no matter what. With renewed determination, she picked up her phone and typed a message to Jake. Her fingers hesitated over the screen, but finally she hit send. "Hey Jake, it's Mia. I miss you. How have you been?" The seconds felt like hours as she waited for a response. Just when she thought he might not reply, her phone buzzed. "Hey Mia, I miss you too. I've been okay. It's different here, but I'm getting used to it." Mia's heart soared. The simple message made her feel closer to him, as if the distance was shrinking. They exchanged messages, sharing snippets of their lives. Jake told her about his new school, the friends he was making, and the adventures he was having. Mia shared her own stories, the little things that made her smile, and the memories they had created together. As they continued to chat, Mia felt a warmth growing inside her. The invisible wall that had felt so daunting began to crumble. Jake was still the same person she had always known, and their bond was still strong, even miles apart. They made plans to video chat, and that night, as Mia prepared for their call, she felt both excited and nervous. When the screen lit up and she saw Jake's face, it felt like a dream. They laughed and talked for hours, sharing stories and catching up on everything. It was as if no time had passed at all. Mia realized then that distance could not break their friendship. It could only challenge it. With each conversation, they grew closer, sharing their fears and dreams just like before. Mia learned that Jake missed her just as much, and it filled her heart with hope. They made a promise to visit each other, to explore each other's worlds, and to never let distance pull them apart again. As the months went by, their friendship became even stronger. They sent each other small gifts, letters, and photos each, one a reminder of their connection. Mia felt a sense of joy and hope blooming in her heart. She had faced her fears and stepped out of her comfort zone, and it had brought her closer to Jake. One day, while walking through the park, Mia found herself staring at the sky again. The stars twinkled brightly, illuminating the night. She thought about all that had happened, the sadness, the longing, and finally, the reconnection. She felt grateful for the bond she shared with Jake, a bond that had only grown deeper despite the distance. Mia realized that, just like the galaxy's most feared creature, who had scars that told stories of struggles and resilience, she, too, had faced her challenges. Her heart had been heavy with sadness, but she had chosen to reach out instead of retreating into her solitude. And in doing so, she had found her way back to the friendship that meant everything to her. With a smile on her face, Mia whispered to the stars above, "Thank you for guiding me back to my friend." She felt at peace, knowing that love and friendship could conquer any distance, that even the most feared creatures had a story worth sharing. And as long as they were willing to connect, there would always be hope for tomorrow. Mia felt a renewed sense of hope after reconnecting with Jake. Their late-night video chats became a regular part of her routine, filling her heart with warmth. They would talk about everything: school, friends, movies, and their dreams for the future. Each conversation reminded Mia of the strong bond they shared, even though miles separated them. But there was still a lingering sadness in Mia's heart, a fear that their friendship might fade again. One evening, as Mia sat on her bed, she scrolled through her phone, looking at old photos of her and Jake. She came across a picture of them at the amusement park, their faces lit up with joy as they rode the roller coaster. In that moment, she missed him more than ever. She wanted to make new memories with him, to explore the world together again. Mia decided it was time to take action. She wanted to visit Jake. The thought excited her, but it also made her nervous. What if everything had changed too much? What if Jake had new friends who didn't want her around? She shook her head, trying to banish the doubts. She knew she had to at least try. The next day, Mia gathered her courage and called her parents. "Mom, Dad, can I talk to you about something important?" she asked, her heart racing. They nodded, curious about what she had to say. "I want to visit Jake. I really miss him, and I think it would be great for us to spend time together." Her parents exchanged glances. "That sounds like a wonderful idea, Mia," her mom said. "But it will take some planning. You'll need to save up for the trip." Mia felt a spark of determination. "I can do that. I'll work extra hours at the cafe and save my allowance. It'll be worth it." With her parents' encouragement, Mia started to work hard. She took on extra shifts at the cafe, serving coffee and pastries with a smile. Every dollar she earned went into a jar labeled "Visit Jake." She also spent evenings studying, knowing that good grades would keep. Her parents happy and supportive of her trip. As the weeks passed, Mia felt a sense of purpose. Each time she counted the money in her jar, she felt closer to her goal. She would imagine all the fun things they would do together, the places they would explore, the laughter they would share, and the memories they would create. Finally, after months of hard work, Mia had enough money saved. She rushed to her parents, her heart racing with excitement. "I did it. I saved enough to visit Jake." Her parents smiled, proud of her determination. "That's fantastic, Mia. We'll help you plan the trip. Let's set a date." After a few days of planning, the day finally arrived. Mia packed her bag with care, including small gifts for Jake and a journal to document their adventures. She felt a mix of excitement and nerves as she boarded the bus that would take her to his new town. The journey felt long, but Mia focused on the joy of seeing Jake again. Her heart raced as the bus pulled into the station. She stepped off, looking around at the unfamiliar surroundings, feeling both nervous and thrilled. With her phone in hand, Mia texted Jake, "I'm here. Can't wait to see you." Moments later, she spotted him running toward her. Jake's face lit up with a huge smile, and Mia felt her heart swell with happiness. They hugged tightly, and in that moment, all her worries melted away. It felt like no time had passed at all. "Welcome to my new home," Jake said, his eyes sparkling. "I'm so glad you're here." The two friends spent the next few days exploring Jake's new town. He showed Mia the local park, the coffee shop where he hung out, and the movie theater where they watched the latest films. They laughed and joked, falling back into their easy rhythm as if they had never been apart. One evening, while sitting under the stars in Jake's backyard, Mia felt a wave of gratitude wash over her. They were lying on a blanket, just like they used to do back home. "I've missed this," she said softly, glancing at Jake. "I've missed you." Jake turned to her, his expression sincere. "I missed you too. It's been hard being away. I didn't want to lose our friendship." Mia felt a sense of relief. "I was scared that we would drift apart, but I'm so glad I came. Being here with you feels right." As they talked about their dreams and future plans, Mia realized that their friendship had grown even stronger. They shared their fears, not just about their. As the months passed since Maya's visit to Jake, she settled back into her daily routine, but there was a noticeable change in her. The time they spent together had rekindled her hope and strengthened their friendship, yet the distance still weighed on her heart. They kept in touch through calls and messages, but Mia often found herself longing for the warmth of Jake's presence. One rainy afternoon, as Mia sat at her desk, she stared out the window, watching the raindrops race down the glass. She felt a familiar ache in her chest. She missed Jake's laughter, the way he understood her without words, and the comfort of their friendship. Each day, she would scroll through their photos, reminding herself of the joyful moments they shared. But the memories felt bittersweet, without the ability to create new ones. Determined to bridge the distance once again, Mia brainstormed ideas on how to reconnect with Jake in a meaningful way. She wanted to do something special, something that would remind him of their bond. After some thought, she decided to create a scrapbook filled with their memories. It would be a tangible reminder of their friendship, something they could both treasure. Mia began gathering materials, colored paper, stickers, and markers. She sorted through their old photos, choosing the ones that captured their happiest moments, their silly faces at the amusement park, the time they built a fort in Koniyai, her living room, and the sunset they watched while lying on the grass. Each photo brought a smile to her face, and she felt a renewed sense of purpose. As she crafted the scrapbook, she poured her heart into it. On each page, she wrote little notes, sharing her thoughts and feelings about their friendship. She included quotes about friendship, hope, and the importance of staying connected. With every cut and paste, she felt the distance between them becoming a little smaller. Once the scrapbook was complete, Mia carefully wrapped it in colorful paper and tied a bright ribbon around it. She felt a mix of excitement and nervousness as she prepared to send it to Jake. Would he appreciate it? Would it remind him of all the good times they had shared? The next day, Mia took the package to the post office. As she watched the clerk weigh the box and stamp it, she felt a wave of hope wash over her. This was her way of reaching out, of showing Jake that no matter the distance, their friendship was still alive and strong. A few days later, while Mia was studying, her phone buzzed. It was a message from Jake. "Mia, I got your package. I can't believe you made this for me. It's amazing." Mia's heart raced with joy. "I'm so glad you liked it. I wanted to remind you of all the fun we had together." Jake replied, "Almost instantly, we definitely have to make more memories like these. I miss hanging out with you." Mia felt a surge of happiness. Their conversation flowed easily, filled with excitement and laughter. They talked about their plans for the future and how they could visit each other again. The distance still existed, but with each message, it felt less daunting. The next weekend, Jake suggested they do something special together, even from afar. "How about a movie night? We can watch the same film and text each other while we watch," he proposed. Mia loved the idea. They picked a movie they both enjoyed and set a time for their virtual movie night. That evening, Mia prepared popcorn and settled on her couch, her phone ready beside her. She felt a mix of excitement and nostalgia as she waited for Jake to join the call. When the movie started, they both pressed play at the same time and began texting their reactions. They laughed at the funny scenes and shared their favorite moments. Mia felt like they were together again, even though they were miles apart. It was moments like these that reminded her of the strength of their friendship. After the movie ended, they lingered on the call, talking about their favorite parts and what they wanted to do next. "We should plan a trip together," Jake suggested. "Maybe I can visit you next summer?" Mia's heart soared at the thought. "Yes, that would be incredible. We could go hiking, visit the beach, and just hang out like old times." As they made plans, Mia realized how important it was to keep nurturing their friendship. She knew that even though they were apart, their connection was strong enough to withstand the distance. They promised to keep finding ways to share their lives, whether through video calls, messages, or even more care packages. Over the next few weeks, they both worked on their individual lives while keeping their friendship alive. Mia focused on her studies and continued to work at the cafe, while Jake explored his new town and made new friends. They shared their experiences, cheering each other on and offering support. One day, while Mia was studying in her room, she received another message from Jake. "Hey, I have an idea. What if we start a blog together? We could share our thoughts, our adventures, and keep our memories alive." Mia loved the idea. "That's perfect. We could call it Miles Apart, Close at Heart." And so they began their blog. They took turns writing posts about their daily lives, their dreams, and the things they loved. They shared stories about their favorite books and movies, and even created a section for their friendship memories. The blog became a creative outlet for both of them, and a way to stay connected despite the miles. As the months rolled on, Mia felt a powerful sense of accomplishment. She had taken the initiative to reconnect with Jake, and their friendship had flourished as a result. They were no longer just two friends separated by distance. They had become partners in creativity and support. One evening, as Mia sat in her room, she reflected on how far they had come. She felt proud of herself for overcoming her fears and reaching out to Jake. She had learned that distance did not have to mean the end of their friendship. Instead, it could become an opportunity for growth. As she looked up at the stars that night, Mia whispered a quiet thanks to the universe, just like the galaxy's most feared creature who had led her. Scars be seen by only one person. Mia had shared her insecurities and fears with Jake. In doing so, she had discovered the true power of friendship, one that could transcend distance and time, filled with hope and love. With a smile on her face, Mia felt ready for whatever came next, knowing that she and Jake would always be there for each other, no matter where life took them. As summer approached, Mia felt a mix of excitement and anxiety. She had been waiting for Jake's visit for months, and now the day was finally almost here. They had planned everything: hiking, going to the beach, and even a movie marathon. But even with all the plans, Mia couldn't shake the feeling of worry. What if things felt different? What if their friendship had changed too much? The days passed slowly, as Mia counted down to Jake's arrival. She cleaned her room, decorated it with fairy lights, and planned the perfect welcome. She even baked cookies, Jake's favorite, filling the house with a warm, sweet smell. But as the hour drew closer, Mia felt nervous. She thought of the last time they were together and how easily they had connected. Would it be the same now? Finally, the day arrived. Mia stood at the bus station, her heart racing as she scanned the crowd for Jake. When she saw him step off the bus, her worries melted away. He looked just like she remembered, with that familiar smile that made her feel at home. They ran to each other and embraced tightly, laughing as if no time had passed. "Wow, you've really made this place cozy," Jake said as he stepped into her room, taking in the decorations and the smell of cookies. "I wanted everything to be perfect for you," Mia replied, feeling a rush of happiness. They spent the afternoon catching up, talking about everything that had happened since their last visit. It felt like they had never been apart. That night, as they sat on the porch watching the sunset, Mia felt a sense of peace. The sky was painted in hues of orange and pink, reminding her of the sunsets they used to watch together. "I'm so glad you're here," she said, turning to Jake. "I was worried about how things would be, but it feels just like old times." Jake smiled. "I was worried too, but you know what? No matter where we are, our friendship is strong enough to handle anything." His words filled Mia with warmth and hope. Out the next day, they planned to go hiking at a nearby trail. Mia felt a sense of excitement as they drove to the park, the air fresh and filled with the scent of pine trees. They hiked up the trail, chatting and laughing, just like they used to. Each step felt like a reminder of their bond, and Mia appreciated how easy it was to be together. As they reached the top of the trail, they stopped to take in the view. The landscape stretched out before them, a beautiful tapestry of greens and blues. Mia felt a rush of happiness. "This is amazing. I'm so glad we did this together." Jake nodded, his eyes sparkling. "It really is. This view reminds me of how far we've come. It's like we're on top of the world." As they stood there, Mia realized how much she had missed this connection. It wasn't just about being together physically. It was the comfort of knowing someone truly understood her. She felt like they could face anything together. That evening, they planned their movie marathon. Mia set up the living room with blankets and pillows, creating a cozy space. They picked out their favorite movies, ready to relive those shared experiences. As the first film started, Mia felt a wave of nostalgia wash over her. They laughed at all the familiar scenes, quoting lines and sharing memories. In between movies, they talked about their dreams for the future. "What do you want to do after high school?" Jake asked, munching on popcorn. Mia thought for a As summer faded into autumn, Mia often found herself reflecting on the time she spent with Jake. Their weekend together had been a whirlwind of laughter, adventure, and heartfelt conversations. But now, with Jake back in his town and the school year in full swing, Mia felt a familiar ache of distance return. Despite their letters and video calls, Mia sometimes felt like she was losing touch with her best friend. She cherished their conversations, but life was busy for both of them. Mia had schoolwork, part-time shifts at the cafe, and a host of responsibilities. Jake was adjusting to his new school and making new friends. While they promised to stay connected, Mia couldn't shake the feeling that they were drifting apart. One evening, as she sat in her room, Mia pulled out the scrapbook she had made for Jake. Flipping through the pages, she smiled at the memories captured within. But as she turned to the last page, her smile faded. She realized that while they had shared so many memories, she still felt a gap between them. She wanted to feel that closeness again, but she didn't know how to bridge the distance. That night, she lay in bed, staring at the ceiling, her mind racing with thoughts. What can I do? She whispered to herself. I want to reconnect with Jake, but I feel so far away. Mia knew she had to take action. She decided to write Jake an honest letter about how she felt. She poured her heart into the letter, expressing her worries about their friendship and how much she missed him. She wrote about their shared memories, how they had always been there for each other, and how she wanted to make sure that didn't change. When she finished the letter, Mia felt a sense of relief. Writing it had helped her clarify her feelings. She sealed it in an envelope and promised herself that she would send it the next day. As she walked to the post office, Mia felt nervous. What if Jake didn't understand? What if he felt overwhelmed? But as she dropped the letter in the mailbox, she felt a rush of hope. She had taken a step toward reconnecting, and that was what mattered. A few days later, Mia received a response from Jake. When she opened the letter, she felt her heart race. Jake's handwriting filled the page, and as she read, she felt a wave of emotions wash over her. He expressed that he had also been feeling the distance. He missed her too, and appreciated her honesty. Jake wrote about his struggles at his new school and how he sometimes felt lonely. Mia's heart ached for him. She realized that even though they were apart, they were both navigating the same feelings of distance and longing. Inspired by his letter, Mia decided they needed to do something together, even if it couldn't be in person. That weekend, she suggested a virtual adventure. They could each choose a movie to watch and then share their thoughts afterward. Jake loved the idea, and they both picked their favorite films. Mia chose a classic adventure movie, while Jake picked a new sci-fi film. On the night of their virtual adventure, Mia set up her living room with blankets and snacks, just like they had done during their movie marathon over the summer. As they connected through video chat, Mia felt excitement bubbling inside her. They pressed play at the same time and settled into their respective couches. As they watched, Mia texted Jake during the movie, sharing her reactions and laughter. It felt good to connect in this way, even if it wasn't the same as being together in person. After the credits rolled, they both shared their thoughts about the films, discussing what they loved and what surprised them. I really liked how your movie was set in the future, Mia said, her eyes sparkling. It made me think about all the possibilities out there. Jake nodded enthusiastically. Yeah, it's cool to imagine what life could be like. I think we can create our own adventures, even if we're far apart. Mia smiled at his words. Exactly. We can make plans for the future, even if they're just ideas right now. They spent the rest of the evening talking about their dreams and aspirations. Mia shared her desire to travel and volunteer, while Jake talked about wanting to explore different cultures and learn new things. As they spoke, Mia felt a renewed sense of hope. Their friendship was still strong, and they were both determined to keep it alive. Over the next few weeks, they continued their virtual adventures, sharing not only movies, but also their daily lives. They played online games, read the same book, and even started a small project together. They decided to create a blog where they could share their thoughts, experiences, and dreams with each other and anyone who wanted to read. They called it Adventures from Afar. Mia felt a sense of excitement as they worked on the blog together. They wrote about everything from their favorite childhood memories to their hopes for the future. Each post brought them closer, and Mia realized that they were building something meaningful together, despite the distance. One evening, as they were discussing their next blog post, Jake said, "You know, even though we're apart, I feel like we're closer than ever. It's like our friendship has grown in a new way." Mia nodded, feeling a warm glow inside. "I agree. It's not easy being away from each other, but we're both putting in the effort, and that matters." As autumn turned into winter, Mia felt hopeful about their friendship. They had faced challenges, but they had also found ways to reconnect. Every letter, every video call, and every blog post strengthened their bond. One chilly evening, while Mia was sipping hot cocoa, she received a message from Jake. "Hey, I've been thinking. What if we set a date for our next in-person adventure? Maybe I could visit for winter break?" Mia's heart raced with joy. "That would be amazing. We could go ice skating and see the holiday lights." Jake replied, "Yes, let's make it happen." As the date approached, Mia felt a mix of excitement and nerves. She wanted their time together to be special. She planned fun activities and even baked cookies to welcome him back. When the day finally arrived, she stood at the bus station once again, eagerly waiting for Jake. When he stepped off the bus, she felt an overwhelming sense of happiness wash over her. They embraced tightly, and Mia knew that their friendship was stronger than ever. As they spent the next few days together, they created new memories, laughed until their stomachs hurt, and shared moments that would last a lifetime. They went ice skating, made hot chocolate, and decorated Mia's house for the holidays. Every moment reminded her that distance could not diminish their bond. On their last night together, as they sat under the stars in Mia's backyard, she turned to Jake. "Thank you for being such a good friend, no matter the distance. I feel so lucky to have you in my life." Jake smiled warmly. "I feel the same way. We've both worked hard to keep our friendship alive, and I'm proud of us for that." As they gazed at the stars, Mia felt a sense of hope for the future. Their friendship had weathered the storms of distance, and she knew it would continue to grow. Just like the galaxy's most feared creature, who revealed her scars only to one person, Mia had shared her fears and vulnerabilities with Jake. In doing so, she had found strength, hope, and a beautiful friendship that would last a lifetime. As winter settled in, Mia felt a mix of joy and anxiety. The holiday season was approaching, and she was excited to have Jake back for a visit. Their time together during winter break was something she had been eagerly looking forward to. However, as the days passed, she couldn't help but feel a twinge of worry. Would things feel different? Would their friendship still be as strong as it had been during the summer? Mia spent the days leading up to Jake's arrival, preparing for his visit. She decorated her house with twinkling lights and hung garlands on the door. She baked cookies and made a special plan for their time together. Her heart raced with anticipation, but deep down, she felt a small fear creeping in. What if they struggled to reconnect after being apart for so long? The day finally arrived. Mia stood at the bus station, her heart pounding with excitement. When she saw Jake stepping off the bus, a wave of relief washed over her. He looked just like she remembered, with that familiar smile that made everything feel right. They embraced tightly, and Mia felt all her worries melt away. "Hey, I'm so glad to see you," Mia exclaimed, grinning from ear to ear. "Me too. It feels like it's been forever," Jake replied, his eyes sparkling with happiness. As they drove back to Mia's house, they chatted about everything: school, friends, and their plans for winter break. The conversation flowed easily, just like it always had. Mia felt her heart lift as they reminisced about their last visit, sharing laughs and stories. That evening, they settled in with mugs of hot cocoa, watching holiday movies. Mia felt a sense of comfort as she snuggled under a warm blanket next to Jake. They laughed at the silly scenes and shared their favorite holiday traditions. It felt just like old times, and Mia's heart swelled with happiness. The next day, they planned to go ice skating at the local rink. Mia had been looking forward to this, remembering how much fun they had skating together in the past. As they laced up their skates, Mia felt a rush of excitement mixed with a hint of nervousness. "Are you ready to show off your moves?" Jake teased, grinning at her. "Only if you're ready to fall flat on your face." Mia shot back, laughing. As they stepped onto the ice, Mia felt a surge of joy. They glided around the rink, holding hands and laughing as they tried to keep their balance. For a moment, it felt like nothing had changed. They were still the same best friends, sharing fun and laughter. After skating, they decided to warm up with some hot.